Week 1 was something else, wasn't it? Welcome to another video. This is going to be the first in a series that I'd like to call the Forecast. We're going to be reading the schedules and trying to predict what's going on, like how we read the weather, all right? Let me be your weatherman. My name is Leo, always at your service. I've been doing this for years now, and we try not to remember, but go ahead and recall playoff season 11. That was a disaster in my all-time prediction career. And starting with season 12, week 1 pa lang, we're gonna fix things, all right? And looking back, before this all went down, week 1, I actually got 6 out of 9 predictions correct. So from here on end, while we do the forecast, we're gonna do MPL Philippines week in and week out. You know the rules, no scores, just the winner. And we'll see how we end up on the other side, all right? Let's start with Friday, September 15. Onic Philippines versus AP Bren. I'm giving the nod here to AP Bren. They had a very rocky start. I think it's safe to say both teams, black and yellow. But it's more difficult for Onic, given that they still kind of do the shuffling lineup. Nagpapalitan sila doon. I don't know what Coach Bluffsy has in mind going in from series to series. But for AP Bren, it's a clean 5 for the most part, right? And their only real loss was in a lack of consistency or, I guess, late game conviction against RSG. So if they figure that out, I still believe this is the season for AP Bren. So game 1, series 1, AP Bren. Let's talk about Minana Evos and Blacklist International. Dear Lord, Minana Evos, they're still looking for their footing. I don't know when or if it's time to bring in the MDL call-ups, if it's time for that squad to play. But Blacklist is on a whole nother level, man. The Hitman wasn't called MVP of week 1 just cause, all right? Even if I would call him MVP every week. Haha, just kidding. The Ube Express is so potent. Sensui is a new man. I can't believe it's the same Sensui. That's the same Sensui we've been watching with Onic PH since season 10. So, Blacklist to sa akin, for sure. Last match of Friday is Smart Omega versus Echo. This can actually go either way. This might actually go 3. And I know we don't do scores, but I think it's safe to say this is going to be a long one. I hope Omega is ready. And I think it's still going to be Echo. Not this early. I don't think Omega can upset our world champion so quickly. So yeah, I'm calling this one Echo. Let's go to Saturday, September 16th. We're opening with Blacks International versus Onic PH. Still stands. I don't know how the Friday match will affect Onyx's mindset, but I think Blacklist is still very, very reliable. I think they're very consistent. Pero baka ito mag-3. All right, this might go 3. That's just my my insight. But Blacklist consistency, Blacklist's drafting prowess also. Feeling ko marami pa sila mapapakita. I feel like this is going to be a Blacklist series. Yeah, I'm calling it Blacklist. Let's go to Echo versus TNC. I think the simple read here is Echo, but I just don't quite know yet kung ano yung threshold ng TNC. Because on their best days, TNC is so clean. On their best days, TNC can turn around and step on the clutch in the mid-game like no other. So, I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. And I don't even know if Yawie's playing, right? Hindi ko alam kung saan mas hiyang ang TNC sa playstyle ni Yawie or ni JP. But I think it's safe to say the way I read this is it's gonna be Echo. Next up, the last for Saturday night. It's Minana Evos versus RSGPH. Yeah, no, RSGPH closed up last week. Strong. They're on a high. But this might be where Minana Evos actually scores. This might be where Minana Evos gets 1. I don't know how. I don't know with which roster. But RSGPH, especially in the early weeks of MPL, meron silang ganitong tendency that they let some things through. They let little cracks show. But it's better this way than in the playoffs. So as a Raider, as a member ng Hukbo, at some point you're going to feel like either can take it. But the way I read it, I think it's RSGPH. Let's go on a championship Sunday, main event Sunday, whatever you want to call it, because some way, somehow, all of the matches, freaking somehow find a way to be amazing to feel high stakes, even if it is just the early half of MPL Philippines Season 12. Pero sige, let's open up with Omega versus TNC. All right. Now, things get heated. Now, I feel like I have to draw the line, and I think TNC is gonna take this. I think dito, biglang aariba ang TNC, and yung messy and parang counter-punch play style ng Omega na parang, sige, pa-build up mo lang si Kelra, pa-build up mo lang si Kelra. And maybe, kayang mamain ng TNC si Andoryu. That's what I think will lead them to the dub. I don't know if it's gonna go 3. I don't know if it's gonna be easy, or they're gonna do what I said I think they're gonna do. But, yeah, I think the Phoenix Army is gonna be celebrating tonight, much to the chagrin of the barangay. Next up, AP Bren versus Manana Evos. It's so hard to see how far Manana Evos can go. It's so hard right now kung ano yung development line nila. But for AP Bren, they're at their peak. This is peak AP Bren. I'm not saying this is the best AP Bren we're ever going to see. I'm not saying their mechanics or their skills or their macros are capped. Pero this is the best we've ever seen them in a while. So, with that said, logically speaking, I just have to say AP Bren. I don't know from where else pupulutin or huhugutin ng hukbo yung gagawin nila laban sa AP Bren. So, you know, voice inside my head says AP Bren. Last but not least, we're closing the weekend up. Week 2, wow, just flies by, right? We're closing up with the M4 World Champions versus the MSC 2022 champions in RSGPH. This one's tough. I think this one is worthy of being that last match of the weekend. And sobrang excited ako is because they both have the propensity to bring out super polished gameplay. Tapos, yung mga players pa nila sobrang tested, and we're reviving the rivalry of the playoffs. I think whatever else happened in S11, congratulations to Echo for winning, hell yes. But the one rivalry we didn't expect, the one rivalry we didn't ask for but we got anyways, that we saw happen twice over the course of 2 best of 5s, was Irad versus Carl TZ. And Irad made sure na hindi siya nakapag-rest well, because now he's playing for a whole nother season. And Carl TZ, you know what's coming. I think this one is going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be quite a show. Just thinking about those 2 junglers alone. Not even considering if it's JP, Yawi versus Light, Sanji versus Aqua. Oh, Sanji RTZ, let's go. Super aggressive. I'm hoping that maybe one day my boy RTZ gets to play. So, alam mo yun, ang daming dream matchups, ang daming pwedeng mangyari sa isang best of 3 na to that we cap off week 2 with. But, you know, for the sake of the forecast, for the sake of my score, I'm going to give it to Echo. I think there's very little factors, there's very few things that can go wrong for Echo, but as seen in MSC, kapag hindi mo ina-expect yung mangyayari, and nangyari siya, even Echo gets shocked into a bad situation. But yeah, no, here I think they're in a much better mind space, they're in a much better atmosphere, and this might go 3. This might go 3, but I still think it's Echo. As much as I love RSG and as much as I love Irad and him stepping up to Carl TZ in that little rivalry of theirs, I still feel like Echo. All right, so I've drawn the line, I've made the calls. Real quick, a quick summary, one more go, so that you guys can hold me accountable for my predictions. Starting from Friday all the way down to the last match of Sunday, AP Bren, Blacklist International, Echo, Blacklist International, Echo, RSG, TNC, AP Bren, Echo. Those are my calls for the weekend. I just noticed Echo won a lot, but it is what it is, fam. You know how we do. If you're enjoying my content, go ahead, like and subscribe. Shout outs to my man's Ray Ash. He's the editor of these videos and my editor on social media. So give him a like as well. Great memer. Awesome gameplay. If you like those off-kilter, off-meta strats, check him out at Ray Ash G. And kita-kits, week 2 of MPL Philippines Season 12, right? Holla!